So let's gonna test drive this car, see what happened, and let's see if there's a big difference. That's beautiful now. Just needs replacing the doors and fix the rocker panel. I fixed the doors on the other side already, so this car is gonna be nice after the fact everything is fixed. Hey guys, good morning. Another day to rebuild this 92 Toyota Corolla. So right here now, the struts are assembled. 4 struts assembled. Here, there's the rear, and here, there's the front one. So just a matter of putting this one together before we're gonna start putting this thing. Right here, you can see this brake line here. It's seized out here. So what I'm gonna do now, I don't want to take this off since I cut the ears here, the bracket. Call it ears. So I cut that portion there in order for me to sway this thing away a little bit here, not to bend it, so that you can remove the strut. So now it's a matter of putting this thing to this bracket here. So you cannot put that without taking this one apart. So I don't want to risk this thing because this is very rusty. I know it will break once I take this off, because as you can see, it's rusted here. Even if I clean it, I use the WD-40 to soak it overnight, but it seems like it's pretty hard. And you can see here, it's gonna break, so there's no way to take this apart without breaking this line. So I don't want to take a risk for now, because I want to use this car right away once I'm done installing this shock absorbers or this strut. I like to do not destroy this thing, do not cut this one, but if I'm gonna take this one, it takes me a long time, and I don't have parts for this, and you cannot buy these parts anymore here. You can buy this one online. I don't know if you can find this online. You need to rebuild your own in order to replace this thing. This because it's corroded here, the rust seized out already. If you heat it, you cannot heat that because it will burn the hose line here. This is rubber, so I don't want to take the risk. So I'm gonna save that thing. I'm gonna save the brake lines for bleeding later. We're gonna cut this one so that we can put this back. Cut this thing here, this bracket, and spread this a little bit so that we can be able, while putting this one in the vehicle, we're gonna put this one first, and we're gonna slide this here and tap this one back, and slide your pin, and it's good to go. Okay, let's gonna start that. We're gonna cut this area here and spread that a little bit without damaging anything. Okay, it's gonna start that. Okay, I'll start cutting here. There you go. It's cut here. So now I'm gonna spread this one here. Let's see. It goes in the vehicle. So I'm gonna press this inner part up so that way there, when I put it back, I just wanna tap from the top. Tap this thing from the top once I'm ready to put this back. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna use my pliers. I don't want to bend both. I just want to bend one side if I can. We're gonna use the bigger vice grip. So okay here guys. See? Okay, let's try that. Hopefully I can access there. You know that the purpose of this, why I'm cutting this one, because I don't want to change the brakes right now, just to save time for now, because I don't have parts for this brake lines. And if I screwed out here, I can't drive the car today. I like to drive this today. So for now, this is the way of doing it. Don't take a risk. Okay, let's gonna try to fit this thing. Slide this thing before we're gonna slide this out here. See that guys, is aligned already here. Make sure you align everything. So I'm gonna put the anti-seize here at the top. I like to do that. Just okay. So everything is clean up here. Just a matter of sliding this thing up. So we have to be careful here. You can slide this from the top like that. So it's in now. It's a matter of like that. Here you go. On. Now once the brake line fitting here, it's on the whole kind of maneuvering here from the top. Hope you can see that. Okay, so after aligning this brake line here, it's on the hole already, so we're good. So now it's a matter of aligning the, I think we should put the bolts first. Okay, I think I need a punch so that it will align the holes there. So you guys here, I'm screwing this bolt for the puncher here. It's a little bit stiff. Just kind of rotate this thing. It's a little bit stiff while you put the bolts in, eh? So I'm putting the bolt while I'm putting the puncher here. I use my 1/4 extension. This one might help. Okay, don't tighten it for now. And right now I'm gonna align the top, the 3 studs of the strut. I'm gonna put a light so that you guys can see. It's hard to see on the camera, but anyway, I'm gonna align this thing. Align So you guys here, so that procedure didn't work, so I took the bolts out again. I need to put this the 3 bolts first on the top because it's hard to see here, well, in the bottom. So right away I can maneuver where my stud, so pointing that hole, there are 3 holes on the unibody. So we're gonna slide this first there and put a knot on the top. So hopefully this one right there, so it's in. So now I'm gonna raise up, kind of leaning here. I'll put a knot here on the top. So you can see I put a knot on the top right there. So down here we're holding, I didn't tie it just to hold the strut. Now I can slide this bottom piece here, but before we're gonna slide it, you have to watch, you have to secure this line because we don't want to bend it. Make sure it's on the you have to slide this hole here first. Kind of a little bit tricky how to slide this thing. You might need to bend a little bit, but not that much. Oops, I don't want to wreck. Okay, I don't want to wreck this line. Okay, so I'm sliding the lower strut to the bottom. Right now I'm in to the top. It's a little bit tricky here. Now we need to align this 2 holes for the bolts for the strut on the bottom because we're in. So you need to in first this brake lines to that bracket. Not much room to wiggle it out because you can break this line. So you have to be careful. Now I'm gonna do this one. Okay. My knee is pushing to this drum, and I think I can put 1 bolt. I'm gonna put a puncher first. I'm gonna slide my puncher on the top. This top portion is a little bit stiffer. So while I'm holding that, I'm gonna put this. Hopefully I can put this bottom bolt on the top. Now I can start the top one. So I don't want to continue that with the impact. I just want to do it with the hand because it's a little bit, there's a tension here now. Okay, it's in the half. The bolt is in the half. You can see right there, it's in the half now. It's a little bit steeper, you can see that, because there's a tension. It's holding now. So, and you don't want to create a little move here because this one will kind of bend the lines. So it's a matter of slowly screwing this in. So I put the 1 bolt already. So I'm gonna try to put the bottom one too. Where's my bottom bolt? Oh, right here. It's in there. Now I need to put a punch again. Just a half, don't so much that you can put the bolt on the side. I like to clean up this bolt first, so I need to clean up this rust here, so the easier way to put the nut back on. We're gonna clean this, guys. So here the bolt is nice and clean here in the tip. Just want to put anti-seize there so to avoid the rust. You don't need to put thread locker on this thing. Once you torque this one, it will hold, it will stay there. You have to torque this in the proper torque specs and it's good to go. Just align the holes. Okay, I'm just gonna use my ratchet here just to screw it in slowly with the hand while assessing this holes to line up. Just need holding this drum, kind of twisting it upward, and the bolt is going to go in. Don't try to pound it because it will break the thread. So just like that. Just like that. Just stiff because there's a tension already. Okay. Right on. My bolt is in. My bolt is in. Now I need to put the bottom bolt. Okay, I put the bolts on the top only. I'm gonna try to snug the top nut here. Let's see if it will help to align the holes. So here, I'm gonna snug one nut here in the top. Okay, let's see if it will help align the holes on the strut here and the bottom bolt here. See? So see guys, it needs to go like that. It needs to push from the top of the drum. See? It needs to push. So what I'm gonna do here, it's nice if you can put a jack stand here and raise it up a bit and it will tilt. Okay. Okay, let's try the jack stand, floor jack. See, right there. So what I'm trying to do here, just put a floor jack here a bit, just to left. Let's see if in this one I need to go this top, tilting like that, this drum, so that the holes will line up here. See that? See this hole? See that hole? It's not lined up to the. See that? It's not perfectly line up the holes of this strut mount here, lower mount. If I'm gonna raise a bit the floor jack, see, I just want to be careful too. I don't want to raise more because it will raise your car and it'll go off to the jack stand just a bit. See it moves. Okay, I'm gonna put my camera here. Okay. So you just need to push this. Just gonna try to raise this a little bit. See if you can raise a bit. I might pry this thing. Pry this strut off the way here. See, so that will line up the bolts right there. Maybe like that. It'll help. Let's try that. Oh, fuck. See, if I can start this bolt just a half, it's good. There you go. A little bit hard pulling this one, and I don't know yours if you're lucky. It is easy if you take the brake lines of this, I guess. In this case, I don't want to take the brake lines because I don't want to bleed it again. I don't have parts, so for now I'm gonna put this thing back on. Now I can use my impact gun, but slowly pressing the trigger. Right there. Now it's in. Whew, that's a little bit tricky. So now it's the time to put the nut. When you put the nut, put this this bracket, the one that we cut here, bring it down back to the original place. Stop it here. So and put the clips. Okay, guys, I put my camera on the top of this mount here so that you can see what I'm doing here. Time to tighten this one. Just snug it for now because we're gonna torque this. Just snug this. The bolts in. Now you can tap that thing. So we need like a little bit tapper, small hammer, so that when you tap this one, it will not bang here. Right here, grab my body hammer. Let's try to tap this one back in place. The one that we cut. Just carefully tap this one. use a vice grip. Try pliers. Okay, this one is better. Easy. Easy, easy. And on. So you don't need a hammer or dolly. Maybe here you need a dolly just to flatten this. Right on. Now we can put our clip back in place. We save the brake lines. I'm gonna put the clips here. Here's my clip. I clean it already. I use a wheel grinder to clean this out just to take off some rust. And this one will slide here easily. Hopefully slide. This thing, the curved one, is facing up. Now it's time to top. Use my hammer. Right on. Perfect. Back. Now it's in place, guys. It won't gonna. It's very sturdy. Now we're gonna spray this one with anti-rust just to save this brake line for too much rusting. Okay, good. Now we're gonna finally tighten the top portion of the stud, the strut there, the 3 nut, and this one we're gonna torque this one to the final specs. Right here, guys. So I'm gonna paint this one, spray this one to avoid rust in the future. Oh, it's rusted already, just to avoid more rust. I'm gonna change this anyway, sooner or later. So as for now, you don't need to take up your brake lines out. If your Corolla like this, it's seized out here because of too much rust, you ended up risking it to break this line here. So all you need to do is to cut this one. So the same thing as what I did. That's good. So good for now. Okay, now we're gonna torque this bolt here. We're gonna tighten the top one more and retorque the top with 30 foot-pounds on the 3 nuts on the top of the strut, and we're gonna torque this one around 80 to 100 foot-pounds. Okay, here I'm gonna torque this one. Torque this to 80 foot-pounds for now. There you go. Bottom one. I need a little bit extension here because a little bit binding on the drum, so I need extension. Okay, guys, right here I put my swivel here because I don't have a short extension to extend this here, this socket here. So let's see if it's gonna work. Should work. Right there, just torquing it. Okay, hold the bolt here. There you go. So that's 80 foot-pounds. I have to check how much the engineered torque specs on this. I need to look at the book or internet. What's the correct torque specs on that? For now, I'm gonna put that for 80 foot-pounds. It won't hurt because I did that before. It didn't lose or anything happen, so it's good. That's good. So 80 foot-pounds there. And make sure your torque specs says you have to check it in a manual, owner's manual. Okay. Now we're gonna tighten the top. So we're gonna tighten all of that and torque it to the 34 foot-pounds. Tighten everything here. Oh, I can tighten it with my hand first. This one is tight, the front. So I'm gonna tighten that. Now we're gonna tighten that finish it with the torque wrench and tighten it to 34 foot-pounds. There you go. Other side. There you go. A little bit no room here for the torque. My torque wrench is a little wider. That's good. So everything's torqued to 34 foot-pounds. It's good to go. So we're gonna do the same thing as the left rear. Now we can drop this floor jack here. Now, everything is good here. That's the new strut. Good. Looks good. Okay, guys, here I did the left rear too. Same thing as the procedure as the right rear. So I did cut here. See that? I cut a portion here so that you can slide your brake lines there. Brake line fitting. No need to bleed it, the whole thing again. So same thing procedure. Put your strut first to the hole, 3 holes on the unibody here, and put the nuts snugly, and put your bolts. Tighten the bolts here. Put this brake line fitting. Put the clips back in place, and then you're gonna tighten the finish tightening torque down. This is to 80 or wherever what torque specs is. Right here, the top portion, finish tightening it and torque it to 34 foot-pounds. This 3 nuts, and this one in the center will be, because I just snug it there before I put it. Torque that with 60 foot-pounds, 50 or 60 foot-pounds should be good. And if you're not really sure what's the torque specs on this, you have to look at your manual, see what's the correct specs. But 50, 60 is good enough. That's good. So it's a time to torque this thing, torque the bolts here, and I'm gonna put the wheels back in place. And we're gonna do the front one. So I'm gonna torque here for 80 foot-pounds. Right here, and just go on the top. I don't need a extension. There's a little bit leverage here. See that? Just enough to, you can use extension too if you want a wider leverage. There, just kind of like that. It bind up the size of this when you're torquing this one, but it's enough to tighten that to 80 foot-pounds. Right on. And we're gonna check. I'm gonna put that for 80 foot-pounds for now, and we're gonna check that what's the correct specs. I think 80 is good. It's good. So I didn't mention this bolt here, the holes of this strut bracket here and to this knuckle. There's not much adjustment for this. That's why a little bit harder to put this bolt. You need a puncher and kind of support your knuckle here, suspension here with a floor jack just to raise it about, line up the holes a bit, because there's not much adjustments. This one probably needs an alignment after. I think there's not much big enough adjustment of this, not much movement from the original alignment. Probably a little bit off a little bit, but not that bad, because these holes are like perfectly same the size of the hole of the knuckle. The bolts perfectly fit to the hole, so there's not much of movement adjustment in order you to line up the strut up and down. So once the bolts will fit in this hole and goes all the way in, you're gonna put your nuts and tighten it all, and it's good to go, and torque it down. That's good. Okay guys, here I assemble the front strut. This thing is kind of a little bit I never thought that it's gonna be a little bit harder to install because of you can see this is a caution. There's a cautioner. This caution a little bit like worn out or something, like it's stretched a little bit. So the other side is a little bit hard. The left front is worse than this. This one's a little bit better, not stretched too much. So once you put this thing, it's a little bit harder to get in place because it's stretched now. So you can't round this thing perfectly. So this becomes wider, and every time you release this compressor, you need to place this cushion, because you need a cushion for the steel here, round steel. So you need to kind of release this slowly and kind of align this thing, and kind of it's not that easy sometimes, you know. So that's why some people do that, buy the whole kit, buy the whole strut or the quick strut. But in this case, 92 Corolla, you can't find a quick strut for the 92 Corolla or closer year. So they just sell this strut, not the whole with the spring, the whole assembly. So you need to take the spring out and then reassemble everything. So this one here, I noticed this thing here. Make sure this bearing is cleaned up here. I greased it already. Underneath the bearing, there's a cushion, round cushion. It's like a foam, but this is not the original already. I replaced it with I found a soap pad sandpaper. It's close to the original. I'll show you the original here. Here's the original. It teared apart already, so no more good. It's brittle. You got brittle. So for the first time, I made this rubber thing, but it's still a little bit thicker, and hard. So this original is a soap. It's a foam. So kind of when I put this thing, I made this one for the first time when I assemble. Once I tighten the bolt, the bearing here doesn't want to spin. So once you tighten the bolt on the top, holding the strut and the mount here on the top mount, it won't gonna spin because my that thing there's still thick. This rubber. So right now I'm gonna replace it with a foamy sandpaper, the soap pad, the 600 grit right here. I made that thing. That's a soap pad, sandpaper. Made a kind of it's just a cushion. So I grease it out there, grease everything. So hopefully this one works. It's just a cushion. Once you put this one on the top here, right there. So So it's gonna seal a little bit from the grease out to the out from the bearing. But let's try this. I couldn't find a cushion like this and online. I don't know if you can find. Please give a comment below if you can find this cushion for the Toyota Corolla. This cushion for the bearing, upper strut mount bearing cushion. This. Okay, what do you call it? That's maybe it's a seal something. Okay, now I'm gonna put this one. If it works, it works. Let's try this. If it spin once I'm tightening this thing. So make sure this thing is see this like the thread on the top. Make sure this when you squeeze this like almost to the like 3 to 5 gears there. See that? 3 to 5 teeth of the compression. So because this one there's a slot for this. This stud there's a kind of a notch for this so that it will hold. It will place to this. Top of the mount, strut mount. That's how it holds there. So make sure this top mounting of the strut, it sets properly to this the notch of the rod. So now as you can see this shiny like a bushing part of this. Make sure you can see this when you put this down. If this one will below on the this mount, it means that you're not fully flushed to the groove or notch to this slot here. It's like a square rectangular portion so that it will set. Once you tighten the knot, it won't spin. This stud won't spin because it will lock. This mount will hold the stud in place. Okay, let's gonna put the upper mounting right here. So I'm gonna tighten this one. I'm gonna put the nut. So this upper mount here that I put with the bearing, this is supposed to spin. Make sure it'll spin when you want it after tightening this one. Because it's supposed to spin. That's the way it is, so that this is what you can steer. If you steer the steering wheel, this strut will move a little bit and you can wiggle. The bearing will, this one stay in place and just the strut moves around. Now make sure you put this upper mount on the same place when you take it off. So I put up scratches here, Mark. You can see these scratches. It's supposed to go here and facing you well your symbol. So I put a dot here. See, I drill a dot. Never interchange this one too because there's a marking here says out. Out means out of the vehicle, so facing out of the vehicle. So that's good. So I'm gonna put the knot and tighten it out. So another thing here, before you put the knot on, make sure you put the washer. That's the washer. You're gonna put it on. The strut assembly, it comes with a washer. You're gonna put the washer on. It's hard to capture the video while handling the camera. Now, as you can see, guys, I can tell it's spinning now. So that's good. My top portion of the mount with the bearing spins now. Before it doesn't want to spin because of the thick rubber I put. So maybe if you cut this one thinner, maybe it works, but I have a doubt because this one, once it's pressed there, you can't spin the rubber. So the rubber bites, eh? So don't use the rubber. So just use a foamy thing, a replacement of the original. Okay, that's good. Okay, now we can release that compressor. Release it slowly, but you have to make sure. See this end here at the bottom. Make sure it sets in this corner that there's a wave here, something like lower and then goes out. So that's where the end of the spring. Release it one at a time, evenly. Watch your hand. While this one is close to the bottom, you should watch this thing. It's properly set it there, and the end here, see that end? It's perfectly set on that corner here. And you should watch this one too here. The spring on the top here, set it properly where it's supposed to go. I think it's good. So, one here, the in here to setting here. That's good. Okay. Now it stores properly. Now we can put this thing in the vehicle. Now I'm gonna put some anti-seize around here. And on the top portion here, I like to put some anti-seize. where it sets to the upper part. This protects from the rust. Now we're gonna carefully slide this thing. This is my mark, so I'm gonna put this one facing to me. Slide this one first here. Put the slot and then. So you're gonna drop the bottom first. And slot. There's that scratch there. Now I look at my markings there so that it will not turn. I want to make sure that make sure you have to open your hood so that while doing here, if you're alone, you can reach the top. See, there you go. Now as you can see, I stud there. See that, guys? Now I can put the nut. So here, you just slowly snug this one. Snug it for now. Just like that. Snug it. You can see here down here, we're gonna align our strut. Okay. Gonna align our strut mount here with the knuckle. I'm gonna put the bolts too. I clean the bolts here so it's easy, and put an anti-seize here so that it will not rust and it will not seize. So we have to remember this bolt is from the rear to the front, facing in towards the front. Okay. This one is a little bit easier to put it on compared to the rear. See that, guys? A little bit easier here, so it lines up easily here in the front. It's just the strut, it's a little bit harder to assemble the strut, but putting it on is a little bit easier compared to the rear side. Okay, good. Now put your knot in place. Now this one is a little bit bigger. This is a 19mm socket. It's nice to organize things so that's easier to work on here. So right now I'm using my small impact. This kind will help. There you go. Now this, guys, so this is same thing as the rear, because we need to save the brakes from bleeding. We need to cut this one again. Same thing as the rear. Cut this ear bracket here for the strut so that we can slide this brake line fitting here to mount in that bracket. So it's better to cut this one off from the vehicle so that you can see the angle. Right now, a little bit angle of my cutoff wheel is a little bit slanting. So the rear side I cut it first before I install. This one I forgot to cut it. Want to make sure it's want to cut it perpendicular. Same thing. So the best way is go like that a little bit. There you go. See that, guys? My cut is slanting a little bit. So when you're gonna do yours, cut it first here because it's a little bit slant, diagonal, something. Now it's time to use my pliers again and raise this a little bit. Brake pads here. Now I'm gonna raise our fucking clip fell off, eh? So I can make sure this pin clip for the brake pad. There you go. On. So once it's in there, we need to try to straighten it back. Just like that. See? Little slides there. Sometimes you need to clean up this a little bit because there's a rust in this thing. Fuck, hang on. Fuck, don't forget this thing. My pad here. The heating pad of my brake pad is fucking plate for my brake pad is fall off. I need to take that out again. Okay. Okay. Fuck. Okay. That's good. Close that thing. That's good. Okay, we're gonna clean this fitting here with a sandpaper. See, much easier to clean this first before you put the strut. Oh, now you know, guys. Clean it first before you put the strut. Okay, I'm gonna spray this some brake cleaner. Try to put this back in place. Let's see. I'm gonna try to flatten this one first. Make sure it's flat. Sometimes this new one it doesn't slide a bit more. I'm gonna spray that with the oil. See, the slide our in here. Needs more. Bit more. So here, guys, what I did here. So a little bit this notch here. This brand new strut. This hole here a little bit. When I press this one, I put in the slot there. It won't fit pretty good. So this hole a little bit smaller. So what I did is I grind a little bit, just a little bit, maybe 1 millimeter, or no, maybe not even. Just grind a little bit, make it fine, kind of spread this a little bit. Put my flat screwdriver in the center of this tab and spread it out so that the holes will squeeze a little bit. So now I can slide this thing. So there's a little bit difference in the this brand new strut to the hole of this in order to slide this brake line fitting here. If it's a little bit tight, you need to grind it a little bit so that it will slide there. See, that slides now. You can see here, you can slide your clip. See, you can see the gap now so that you can slide the clip there. Here's the clip so that you can slide the clip there. Once you press this thing, you can see. I can see the gap. See the gap there? Before it was like that. It's a little bit tight. So what you gotta do is just grind it a bit. You're lucky if the brand new ones, or this one is aftermarket maybe. So right on. Just before I'm gonna put this in place, I'm gonna spray this with anti-rust. Same color right here, green. Just to avoid rusting in the future. There you go. So I like to spray this one too. And slide this thing. So now we're gonna tap it with the hammer, or even this one socket. Everything is fit there. So the remaining unpainted, just spray that with the paint. Right on. Cool. That's good. Well, it's good to go. Now we're gonna finish torquing that bolt there. I'm gonna put that in 80 foot-pounds or 80 to 100 foot-pounds. another 12 volt. That's good. That's hand tight only. That's good enough. So everything is on. Just torque these 2 bolts down here and torque down here, and you're good to go. Right on. Let's do the same thing as the other side with the front strut. Same procedure as this one. After that, you're gonna put the wheels back on, and this car is ready to go on the road. Okay guys, finally done. All the shocks are put together, so this is a matter of putting back the wheels on, and we're gonna put the cover here. I'm gonna put the seats back in place. I'm gonna put this cover back there. Everything all torqued down to the right specs. There you go. All the shocks are mounted together here. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Brand new shocks all around on this 1992 Toyota Corolla. So here, gonna put it back in place here, the cover. Right on. Now I'm gonna put the back seats in place. Okay, I'm gonna start here. So beauty. Go like that. Cool. Right here in the front strut, 3 nuts, torque it on 34 foot-pounds. The one here on the side. Good. So hey guys, right here everything is torqued down, so let's gonna put the wheels back in place, and this bad boy is ready to go back on the road. Good. Okay, now all the wheels are on, so we're ready to drop it down with our floor jack. We're gonna take out stands first, and we're gonna set the wheels on the floor just to set, and we can torque it. I think I need to keep the other side too. These cars, when you jack on the front, I noticed that they will raise all the way to the end too, this rear side. Now we're gonna drop it slowly, just to set the wheels on the floor, so that they're able to torque it down. Now lock it. Don't drop it all the way, because we're just to hold the tires while we are torquing, but not all the way to the floor. That's the way of doing it. Don't release the whole floor jack all the way to the floor while torquing. So I'm gonna put this. I'm going to torque this to this 92 Corolla. You can torque this to 80 to 100 foot-pounds for the wheels. So I'm going to go 100 foot-pounds. I'm going to go 90 foot-pounds first. There. Crisscross pattern. Now we can go 100. Just add 10. Good job. Torque the other side, the rear side of the wheels. That's good. Now you can drop the wheels on. Okay. The wheels got turned. Now we go to the left side. All the jack stands are free. Jack stand here. You can drop the car slowly. Put the tires on the floor right there and lock it. Now we can torque. Good. That's it. Now I'm gonna move to the rear. Good. All good to go. I'm gonna drop the tires here all the way. Woo. Right here, guys, don't forget to release your torque wrench here. Bring back to 0 so that you don't damage the calibration of this thing. Right there. Good job. Now this car is ready to run, so let's gonna test drive this car, see what happened, and let's see if there's a big difference. That's beautiful. Now just needs replacing the doors and fix the rocker panel. I fixed the doors on the other side already, so this car is gonna be nice after the fact. Everything is fixed. Okay guys, I'm gonna drive this car on the road right now. I'll pick up my cover hose. It's a little bit dirty. I don't want the car to get dirty, so everything is good, ready to rock. The car is good, ready to rock, man. Just watching. Everything is fucking messed up here.